Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Grow Equation Business Podcast. Now, if you're like most entrepreneurs who listen to podcasts, you're probably curious as to what the heck this equation thing she's talking about. And you're asking yourself, do I want to learn some new math? Well, friends, this isn't about math at all. It's all about what I've learned during the almost 40 years of business. And I've distilled it down into some key elements. And these are the key elements that I know that every business needs so that the owner, the CEO, can actually get the one thing they truly want, that freedom and flexibility for their life. So, in this episode, I'm going to demystify the essential principles you'll need to work less, earn more, and along with the 4 drivers of success and the 9 activators. So, the road to successful entrepreneurship, we all know, is certainly filled with all kinds of twists and turns. If we think about it or visualize that road, it's full of potholes, there's the occasional detour, there's confusing roundabouts, and we often wonder if we're ever actually going to get the success that we want. And if you've ever felt like that, then in today's episode, I'm going to outline for you what I call the GROW equation and how it will help you build your roadmap to success. And as I said, this is, a culmination of all the years that I've been a business owner and worked with probably over 50 different kinds of B2B businesses. And I wouldn't call it a methodology, perhaps, but maybe a framework, because I don't want any of my clients or prospects to feel that there is this cookie cutter framework that they need to fit themselves into. So, although this framework, as I'm going to talk about it, you're going to kind of maybe scratch your head and you're going to say, oh, this is kind of counterintuitive. And I know it seems counterintuitive, like, simplify, eliminate things, and you'll make more money. But the truth is, I've proven it for myself and with my clients time and time again. So let's look at the basic elements of the GROW equation. And GROW equation really is G plus R plus O equals W. And if you're listening to this, be sure to download the GROW equation graphic, and it'll just make so much more sense for you. And you might say, well, why a graphic? Why do we need a graphic? Here's the thing that I know to be true. Visuals, having visuals, drawing things out, whether it's on the back of a paper napkin or on a flip chart, really help people, your prospects, to understand the problem. And it also makes sales easier. But here's the thing, 65% of people are visual learners. So once they see it and once they get engaged in this, they are much more likely to remember it. So I'm going to be drawing on my flip chart here. So you're going to have to imagine. There are 4 overriding drivers to the equation, and it's represented by a large, big circle. So imagine a large circle, and in that circle, there are 4 different elements. And these 4 elements are: think like a CEO, visualize like a CEO, plan like a CEO, and lead like a CEO. All right, let me explain. Think like a CEO means thinking like the CEO, not an employee, not the doer in your business. This is where it's so, business owners tell me time and time again, it's a difficult thing to do, to set boundaries and learn to delegate, because you've probably built this business up right from the ground up and it's your baby. Letting go is difficult. Thinking like a CEO is a new way of thinking. That's how you're going to get to this work less, earn more. Visualize like a CEO means, as the CEO, You are the visionary. You have to know where you are taking this business down the road. What is the future of your business in 3 years, 5 years, maybe even 10 years? Now, some people, visualization is really easy. I'm currently working with a client and he is the biggest visionary. We have trouble pulling him down from, the ceiling kind of thing. If it's not easy for you, that's why I walk through this. I walk through a very specific exercise with all my clients. So you need to think like a CEO, you need to visualize like a CEO. Number 3 is you need to plan like a CEO. You have to have a plan, a strategy that is aligned with this vision that you have for the future. You need a 30-day, a 60-day, a 90-day strategy. Know where you're headed and then reverse engineer this plan. Not simple, not easy, but it is simple. The 4th is lead like a CEO. You have to share your vision with your team so that you can lead them and lead your business to success. Everybody, whether it is the receptionist, whether it is a salesperson, it doesn't matter, the janitor, they all need to be acting like your salesman. They need to know where this business is going because truly then that's the only way that you're going to get them to buy into and get on the same train or the same bus as you. Okay? So, those are the 4 overriding drivers of your business. That is the big circle. Okay? All right. So, then on the inner part of that big circle, I'm going to draw 3 interconnecting circles. And they are interconnecting. So each of these circles, 3 circles, one is G, one is R, and one is O. Where they intersect, where all 3 of them intersect, that's the sweet spot. That is the W. That is where you get to work less and earn more. That's the overall result of everything. Okay, let's talk about the G. What does G stand for in GROW? In GROW, G stands for get known as the undeniable authority in your field so that you can really attract high paying clients. This is where we help you shift from maybe being, obscure, maybe being the best kept secret to an authority in your field. And in the grow, in the getting known, this is where, it's all about, if you listen to episode 1, you remember I talked about these trends about differentiation. This is where differentiation comes in. Now, in GROW, there are 3 activators. So if you have downloaded the graphic from the show notes, you'll see that there are 3 activators for getting known. One is distinctive messaging and marketing, right? How do you stand out? How do you be distinctive? Number 2 is brand positioning in the marketplace. Brand positioning is your overall brand. It is not just your logo and your colors, but how do your prospects perceive you in the marketplace against your competition? And the 3rd activator in the G for the GROW is what I call a compelling core offer. Now, no matter whether you are a service-based or a product-based, what is your core offer or the pricing, the packaging of that core offer so that you get known as the undeniable authority? Cool. All right. So that is the G about getting known. That is the G. Let's move on to the R. The R in the equation, so remember G plus R plus O equals W. R is about ramping up your profits so that you have money to pay yourself really well and to invest in your business. Probably in growing your team. And this shift is about going from incremental or very small profits, not revenue, to explosive profits. And in an upcoming episode, you're going to hear from one of my clients who has, over the last 2 years during the pandemic, exploded her profits because she has done what was in the G part. She got known as the undeniable authority. Okay. Now, here are the 3 activators in the R, ramp up your profit circle. It's about your key metrics. What are the key metrics for your business? Profit, not sales, right? There's a huge difference. And you're going to hear me talk about profit, profit, profit. You know, you're going to get sick and tired of it. Maybe the size of your email list. There are many reasons, and I won't get into it today, but why your email list is an important element that you need to keep track of. Your team, you know, how many people do you have in your team? What are your sales conversion numbers? What are your percentages of sales conversions? Maybe there are tons of other metrics that you need to be aware of and that you need to keep track, you need to have on your dashboard. That's for you and whoever's working with you to help you figure out. So that is the first activator, your key metrics. The second activator of the R in the GROW equation is what I call optimized outreach. First of all, what is your best way to connect with your audience? So the best way that I connect with my audience just happens to be training and speaking and videos. But some people are amazing writers and they connect best with their audience by writing. Others, it's graphics. You need to know what is your best way, your optimized way to connect with your audience. You need to know your right audience. Where are they hanging out? Who are they? What do they have time for? And another one of the things that I teach my clients in this is, you know, who are your top 20? Could be your, you know, your fab 20, your magic 20. Who on your list, and yes, create a list, who are your top 20 people that you would love to get into your business? Whether you would love to, you know, sell them your core compelling offer, whether you'd like to get them on your email list, whether you'd like to have them as part of your team. You need to know those, and those are the people that you need to work on. And the third activator for the R for your ramp up your profits is a reliable sales conversation and conversions. So many entrepreneurs don't have a reliable sales system. They don't have a repeatable sales system. So, what do I mean by a repeatable sales system? You can only know if your sales conversations are really working and converting if you're doing them the same way over and over again. Okay. Number one, that's number one. But number two, are you able to teach your sales process to someone else in your business? That repeatable sales process. And so, very often when I'm working with a client, that's what we do. We'll take their intellectual property, we'll translate it into their website, and then we'll create a repeatable sales process. So the business doesn't rely on them to be doing the sales conversation. It could be somebody in Edmonton, and the same person is in the business in, I don't know, Ottawa. Both of those people will do the sales conversation exactly the same way. And that's when you start being able to understand that you have the right conversion metrics. Okay. So ramping up your profits is really about focusing on what is working really, really well in your business, doubling down on that. And then what isn't working, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. But you need metrics, you need numbers in order to do this. And so this is the part where you get to learn to love your numbers. If you don't, then Diana's going to help you to learn how to love them one more time. Okay, so we've talked about the G, we've talked about plus the R. Now we're going to talk about the plus O. This is the third circle. This is the circle about optimizing your resources and assets. And this is about optimizing them so that their outcomes go from inconsistent to predictable. So what do I mean? Well, I'll use a website as an example. A website, for most businesses, it should be a really clear asset, right? A business asset. And your website should predictably be able to send you X number of prospects, right? It should be a silent salesman. Your team is another asset. Are they, do they have predictable results? So this is where we're going to optimize. And here are the 3 activators for the O part of the equation. All right. The first part of the equation here in the O is creating a list of your assets. Basically, it's an inventory. And for some of you, you might say, well, what do I really have? Do you have intellectual property? Maybe some of you are not in the service-based industry and you have inventory. But what do you have as assets? And really think about this in the terms of assets in the way of helping you get results with your clients. The second activator in the O circle is what I call a trusted team. Here's where we talk about, what does your current organizational chart look like? What's your next hire? What could your organizational chart look like? What sort of, who is the next person that you need to hire so that you can work less, earn more? And the third activator in the O part of the equation is all about systems and automation. Systems and automation, everything that you do more than once, more than twice in your business can be systematized. Whether that means you simply, maybe it's an email that you send. Do you have that in a document that you can just copy and paste? How do you onboard new employees? How do you onboard new clients? Systems, systems, systems. Because here's the thing. The goal of your business is to give you that freedom and flexibility, right? That's what you wanted when you started your business. I'm assuming. It wasn't just about money. Well, in order to do that, I say that your business has to pass this, and I call it the hit by a bus test. Now, I don't mean that you physically get hit by a bus, but bear with me here. You're building this business. Yes, you want money. Yes, you want to make impact. Yes, you want to have influence, but you want to do it with less work and earn more money. So imagine you're in your office Friday afternoon. God forbid, you walk out the door, you turn out the lights, you lock the door, and you go to walk across the street and you get hit by a bus. Could your business not just keep running without you, but could it sustain the momentum and growth without you? That is the key question. That is why the GROW equation is all about these interlocking or interconnecting circles, right? It's all about these things that all work together. So I hope that this has kind of explained this whole GROW equation and where I'm going, the trajectory, if you will, of this podcast. It's because I want each and every business owner to achieve whatever definition of success it is for them, whatever level of freedom and flexibility it is for them. And I know that when we start considering the G plus the R plus the O, it will equal the W, work less and earn more. So if you have any questions about the GROW equation, see, I told you it really wasn't about math. Head over to dianalidstone.com. There's a button at the top right, book a call. I'd be happy to chat with you about what your dreams are for your business and how the GROW equation, the key principles, the drivers, and the activators can help you really achieve your definition of success. Next week, we have podcaster Carl Richards dropping by, and we're going to talk to him about how having his own intellectual property helped him make more money. Till next week, thanks for listening. Bye for now.